Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be diving into no pun intended.
I like that. I enjoyed that too much.
Different water creatures, including the Kelpie, which is really fucking cool. I love the visual of it when I hear the Kelpie.
Get that.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
I see like a horse seal going through the water.
Oh,
like that is how I picture.
I imagine, and it's not supposed to, like, it does not look like this. This is just me. A beautiful gray horse that is made entirely of flowing water.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous in my head. Like the water's flowing down, or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But
that is how I see it.
That is beautiful. This is the time where I have the darker vision of the thing because I'm like, it's almost like a tar black and like he's almost dripping, right? He is a horse that is of the water. You know what I mean? And I do picture Kelpies more of a masculine than a feminine. I'm sure there are female Kelpies, but I definitely picture them more on the masculine.
The beautiful elf flower or water horses flying through, and then we've got the bitches trying to cross.
Right.
Like,
yes,
so
that is how
more
I
like
do.
the ones that are trying to cross.
Well, more elegant than them, right? It's less deathly and more like water swampy, right? Because like I picture like, you know what water, like when you're at the lake at night, right? And you know that color that the water has. It's so not it's still black, water,
but it's not red.
Right.
From what I've read, Kelpies can be white, gray, or black.
Yes.
So maybe it depends on the time of day.
Maybe.
I didn't even think about that because, like, with it, the water, to me, it's like, it's just, it's beautiful in a deceptive way. It's beautiful in a, I'm a beautiful creature. Don't you want to try and pet me? Don't you want to get a little closer to me?
Yeah.
As opposed to being scary, people wouldn't want to approach it.
Right, right. And so, because, like I said, it's not, I don't picture it as the Nazgul necessarily, but it's definitely a darker thing than what you are describing. And not in necessarily like a horror movie kind of way, but definitely in that dark. You're walking down the path and it's late at night and you're a little freaked out and here's this horse that doesn't look quite right. That's the vibe.
I love that because it's the opposite.
Yes, I know. That's why I think it's funny. I'm highly amused right now.
So basically what Kelpies are water creatures that come to the surface to people in the form of a horse.
Or sometimes a person. And the reason that I think that I picture the horse as looking very wet like is one of the things they say about identifying a Kelpie that is being a person is that their hair will be wet
or have a seaweed or a weed or something in their hair.
Yes, and
which is
quite
kind
often
of beautiful.
Their feet will still be hooves.
Yes, which again. Beautiful in my head, but I think Fae are very deceptively beautiful. So like
Belladonna's beautiful.
You can't see their hooves in the water. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Unless you get close
enough.
But as for the hair and the things in the hair, well, that can be very pretty.
Right. You could have just been a person who's swimming and wouldn't you get seaweed in your hair?
Exactly.
You're swimming in a lake.
So to me, they're one of those poison frogs. They're very pretty, very bright, very but you get too close, you touch them.
No, I'm just like it like you said, Fae are deceptively beautiful. Just like we've got belladonna flower, it's poisonous and gorgeous. We've got so many things that are beautiful but deadly.
Yes.
And that is a lot of the things in today's episode.
It is. So with the Kelpie, they want to lure people there. Sometimes children, often children, because children are so why do you see a pretty fucking horse? I read a story about a guy, or I'm sorry, a group of kids. And the thing about Kelpie is they can also fucking make themselves wider or their legs further spread apart. so that they can carry more than just one or two people. They can carry multiple, right? So these kids get on this horse. Oh my God, it's so beautiful, right? One guy touches it. Like the one kid touches it, but he doesn't want to get on. His arm's stuck, his hand's stuck. He has to cut his hand off to be free of the fucking thing.
Oh wow. So there's 2 stories about multiple children and a Kelpie.
And so like he cuts his hand off, and the other kids are screaming as they're brought like.
Okay, so the way the story that I read, that's the exact same one. He was stuck to the reins, right? Like he's the oldest kid, so he didn't just walk up to pet it. He was trying to free all the other kids who were freaking out.
Okay.
He cut off all his fingers. The way
so it's like a similar, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure it's an oral story, so it got written down differently.
It's Celtic.
Yeah.
Right. Scottish, Celtic. Okay. So it's but anyway.
Sorry, like I was starting to think it was a different one because you're like he cut his hand off, but then I was like, oh no, it's the same thing.
It's definitely the same.
Yeah, it's definitely the same. He's the fingerless kid that
and he tries to call people like, hey, please help, blah blah blah. Obviously the kids aren't seen, so he kind of looks for them and they're never seen from him. Yeah. Which is sad.
It is sad.
So the Kelpie are very dangerous.
On the bright side, not big bright side, but because everybody in town knew about Kelpies, it's not like they were like, you did something to those little children.
Right, exactly.
But now that I say it out loud, and I do watch a lot of true crime, or used to, and know all the stories, maybe they should have been like, hey kid, did you really see a Kelpie, or did you kill all the little kids?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like, look, true crime be what it is.
True crime is scary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's scary. I don't know. Like, that is one of the more horrific Kelpie stories. But, like, the thing about the Kelpie is it wants to kill you.
I want to ride a Kelpie so bad, but not die. Like, I just want to ride on a water horse. And when I say water horse, I don't mean Loch Ness.
Right. I mean, they do believe that Loch Ness Monster could be a Kelpie. Yeah, that is one of the theories about Loch Ness. Check out season 1.
Don't you think it would be beautiful to ride on a horse made in time?
Look, the thing about the Kelpie is that it definitely wants to kill you. It is the living version of a Venus flytrap. Once you touch it, you're stuck to it. You can't, there's something magical about it. Like, you cannot you can't let go. You cannot. You could try. You could push off. You're stuck to that Kelpie. Because, like, one of the stories that I read was about a specific river that every year it floods and it's really fast flowing, and people die in that river. And this is in Scotland because Kelpie lore is Scottish lore. It's not even Irish. It's Scottish lore from what I read. I don't know.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, no. Go ahead.
So there's a merchant who has come up to the river, and he's like, oh shit, I can't cross. It's already flooded. I have all this stuff, but I'm kind of screwed. And here's this white horse.
Oh, yeah.
And the white horse is like, oh, I'll take you across. I can do it. And he's like, aren't you a Kelpie? Except he thought only black horses could be Kelpies. Right. So, like, the white horse is like, no, I mean, I'll take you across. Like,
I'm just imagining the most beautiful in my head.
Right.
Like, oh, it's a charming horse. And he's like, what am I going to do when I looks over there? Nay. This horse like walks up and
the horse
like
is
little
like,
horse.
Come on, buddy.
Exactly.
I got you.
Like, horse makes little horse noises that it does. And it looks so beautiful. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. And like, he even asked it. He's like, but aren't you evil? Or like, he said, aren't you an evil spirit or something like that? And the horse says, well, I'm magical, but whether I'm good or evil, I mean, I don't really,
I'm getting legend vibes.
Right? That's what I was thinking. So he goes to, what did you start? Go lay down. Sorry, my dog is being weird. Maybe she's a changeling. Check out last episode. So the merchant finally, like, the guy's like, well, all right, I'll let you give me a ride across. And he accepts the ride from the white horse. And the second he gets on the back of the horse, he is stuck fast, and that horse is taking off fast down the banks of the river until he gets into the water and takes the man down and drowns him. The whole time the man is trying to get off, but he can't get unstuck from this Kelpie.
Speaking of Kelpie, there's a statue. I don't know where. It's a huge double statue. And it is the largest horse. I say horse, but it's like equine. You know, you know. Equine. Yeah, equine, whatever. I don't know.
Like with a fishtail, but it's a horse body, or no?
No. The largest horse statue in the world.
Okay.
So
okay, equine. Okay, equine, I wasn't sure I was giving the right word. That's why I was like,
I'll show you a picture of it because
I think I know what you're talking about because my smile was this gigantic horse statue.
It is. It's fucking gorgeous. It is Scottish folklore. You are totally right. But it is, and it lights up. It's in the water, and it lights up in the evening, and it's just a beautiful statue, largest statue.
I do love a good lit statue. It's lit, fam. Sorry. Well,
so speaking of shape-shifting animals, Amber wanted to mention the seal one. What are these?
Oh, the selkies, which are, I believe, Irish. Possibly Scott. Maybe they're just Celtic.
They're in the same area.
Yeah, they're in the same area, but they're like, instead of just wanting to kill you, the selkies, they are generally described as seal-like creatures that will transform generally into a woman, although there are some stories where they transform into a man. But the woman will meet a man, or the selkie woman will meet a man, because she's removed her little seal skin and she's got it safely away, I'm pretty sure, is the selkie lore. And she'll meet somebody and they'll fall in love and they'll have kids. And then one day he'll come home and his whole family's gone because the wife and her selkie kids went back into the ocean.
Right, yeah. Right. Can you imagine? That'd be so weird.
I feel like at least half of the selkie stories I read were all fishermen as well.
I know.
Yeah,
they're lonely.
I know. We talked about it in the mermaid episode.
Right.
I don't know. Again, season 1 throwback.
So I wanted to mention the Kappa. Okay. Cappa. That is Kappa, not something from like a university.
Right.
Sorority.
Not a sorority.
That's what it sounds like, right? Kappa,
it does,
Beta,
absolutely.
something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're a Japanese water spirit, okay? And they look like a woman. I'm reading this so I don't forget, right? Okay, so they look like a charming woman, a beautiful woman, female, human body, but they got a turtle shell and webbed hands. And I don't hate that because I feel like that looks kind of cool. Like, I mean,
I don't hate it, but I wouldn't fuck it.
No, I don't think so either. Wait, how are you gonna get it on his back? Like, turtles get stuck.
Right? I'm like, turtles don't.
They don't do it for me.
Yeah.
No.
I'm like, how do I say this in a not weird
way?
Right?
Like, also, have you seen like the video of the turtle having sex? It's like,
oh,
the little noise it makes.
I feel like if I've seen a video, because like in my head, I've seen a video where they're like going at it, but you just hear the like hard knocking shell.
God.
Like the shells knocking like, against each other. I don't know if that was like edited in.
There's like a full like, or it's not like a turtle having sex. It's like a turtle humping a shoe or something, right? And it's moaning. It's literally like, it's like the cutest fucking noise you've ever heard.
Literally,
like,
the cutest fucking noise you've ever heard.
Anyway, so like the thing is with so they love warm weather, populates bodies of water during the summer months. Okay, so they like to attract people in to wrestle and fight and attack. And then they'll remove your organs from your anus. So like
it stopped being funny right
there, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like,
but
I'll
like, can you imagine
turtle
wrestling
lady?
A turtle? But in my head,
no, because it's gonna knock my bones with its big ass fucking shell.
Well, in my head, I'm like,
when I get a concussion,
oh, a pretty river turtle, or oh, one of those cute little box turtles. No, this shit's a snapping turtle. Like, that's what I'm
alligator.
Like, alligator. Oh, I hate those.
I love them.
I mean,
I don't want anyone near with me. Like, I like seeing them safely get across the road.
Oh my god, we stopped We stopped to help one cross the road. It was like this big.
Mm.
Some fucking jackass in a yee truck pulls up beside us. We were on a back road. Very, very safely done. Like no one goes down. He's like, you should just let it get hit. I hate alligators, snapping turtles. I'm not kidding. That's what he said. So my brother gets out this 2x4 and he's like trying to safely guide it across. That motherfucker turned around and ran at my brother. That is not a normal snapping turtle. Like that is not a normal turtle. That's not even a normal snapping turtle.
What's so funny is at first I thought you meant the guy in the truck was
no.
oh, you trying to help it? Flip around, like pulled a bitch and tried to ran it over.
Oh, that would be awful.
Because country
they do.
Let me some people, there we go. Some people dislike alligator snapping turtles to the degree that they will intentionally run them over when they're trying to cross the road. I know, like I sent Maddie a screaming voice message 2 years ago because I was driving for work and I was behind some yee truck and I'm like, what the fuck is that in the road? And then there is a splatter of red everywhere. And I realized that this dude had gone out of his way to swerve and drive over a turtle that was at the edge of the road so it could kill it. And I was so mad. I started honking at the dude. I was screaming out my window and throwing middle fingers. Literally. He thought it was hilarious because he knew I was mad about what he did. And he was just laughing and pointing. And I was like, you are a piece of shit.
Literally disgusting. So while we're having that topic,
and you know what? Real quick,
break for turtles if you can. Assuming you're safe, if you can move a turtle, assuming you're in a safe position, like we were on the back roads, no one was there.
With the big turtles, go around them.
Right.
Don't go over them. Your car's not as high as you think. I'm not going to fill everybody in on this because I had to see it and you don't need to picture it. Go around big turtles. Go around them.
Yeah, and also maybe don't help in it. I mean, I don't want to say don't help an alligator snapping turtle.
Be careful.
I just mean be careful. Be prepared. That bitch will come for you.
Yeah, it doesn't know that you're helping it. It doesn't care. It's gonna eat you because you're big and it's threatened.
God, I remember one time where we were in the back roads and I think we saved maybe like 4 turtles back to back. They just, now is the time of year. They just come out.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on them country roads. Oh. It is so sad seeing them on the highway. Come out on the highway.
Right. Because I was just going to say, like you say, especially on country roads, I drive equal amounts country road and not country road. They're everywhere. Because here's the thing, guys. I know this isn't about turtles, but
I know. We'll switch the topic when we're done.
It's just I've already done 3 morning witch videos about like watching out for the turtles. If you think that, oh, well, I gotta watch out for turtles because I'm near water. No, there's a ton of forest turtles.
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
all crossing the roads as well. So
don't be stupid and throw them in the water when you don't know what type of turtle it is. I'm so
actually
sorry.
I didn't even think about that. But what
like
she
people
said,
do. People they will rescue them and they'll be like, "Oh, go swimming," and it's a fucking box turtle.
Oh my god, it's gonna drown.
It's not. They don't do it on purpose.
Right. It's just they don't know better.
So don't put a turtle in the water.
Right. Just help it cross the road and it'll do the rest on its own. It knows where its ancestral breeding grounds are. That's where it's headed.
Or like if you relocate it, which I don't recommend, but if you happen to just set it in the forest, just set it wherever the fuck.
Or don't relocate it because if you
you're totally right.
Yeah, if you call your wildlife people, like they will tell you not fucking to. Like,
oh no, because they'll look for the same place over and over again. I'm just saying if you happen to move it, don't put it in the fucking water.
Yeah, don't put it in the water. But also, like, once you get it safely across the road, its instincts, they got this. The alligator snapping turtles' instincts also will be triggered, but just run.
Run, literally. They'll find water on their own. They don't need your help.
Yeah, they don't.
But anyway, back to what we were discussing. Amber, please tell us about the Russian one. I don't know what it is.
So it's Russian, it's like
or it's not
all
Russian,
over
it's
Slavic.
Slavic.
But it's Slavic
but it's like Russia something.
It's called the Rusalka or Rusalki, and I'm pretty sure that Rusalka with an A at the end is the singular. Yeah, you can bring us our ice cream. That's fine.
Oh, thanks.
You know what? We're gonna have a sweet treat.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So mine, not yours.
Oh, I can tell. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Oh, hey Mason.
Did you use your discount? No.
So the Rusalka are the Slavic. I talked about them in the mermaid episode, but I did talk about them more from the Christian perspective than the original perspective, because they have existed in Slavic folklore since long before Christianity came to the Slavic lands. And they are basically not only water deities, but forest deities as well. And actually, when I was doing my research today, it said that the forest deities happen to be more mature than the water ones. And I was like, so here's the thing about Rusalka. Pre-Christianity, the Rusalka were water deities that would travel into the land to make sure that the earth got moistened for the crops to be watered. And the ones that stayed at the water, they made sure the bank was moisturized enough for the rye to grow, because rye is very important in that culture. Okay. After Christianity, they became associated with just tormented spirits, mostly young ladies that chose to end their own lives or had their lives ended by their lovers. So very sad and not good. But pre-Christianity, they were these deities that took the water into the land. They were basically protectors of forests.
Well, they were like nymphs,
water. They were well, not just nymphs, because there's no difference, because like I guess they are forest nymphs and water nymphs. Yes, yeah. So, because I was thinking there is something that's strictly water versus strictly is Hellenic. So my bad. You are right. They are very much like nymphs. They exist in the water as well as on the land. And I thought it was interesting that they said the ones that are the forest Rusalka seem to have like a more mature bearing and behave more maturely in the way they interact with humans. And I found that interesting because they've seen more than the water Rusalka.
Well, the water is just so carefree and flowing, and
yeah, I love that. And I didn't even see it that way, because I was just thinking about it from the way of like, you're a young Rusalka, you're taking the water into the land. As you go from the water, what you know, where you've been, you move into the land. Now you're experiencing this whole new world, because water and land are very different. You know what I mean? Right. And I was like, so
they mature in age.
They're mature. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really cool, and I really like that water being the free flowing aspect, because I did think about like grounding in earth and that more mature thing, but I didn't think about I love that. I love that so much. But the Rusalka, they are said, especially in southern Slavic lands, they are said to not only be pictured as beautiful women, but also as birds flying overhead.
I know. Again, that's very similar to, not, but it reminds me of like sirens now. So we've got sirens and nymphs, and they're so similar.
They are so similar. They are. And the Rusalka, again, post-Christianity, they're just demons that try to fuck up people's lives. Pre-Christianity, they were worshipped alongside the earth mother goddess. But they were also used as like effigies to sacrifice at the way Marsana is. So like they are like, the Rusalka are this whole, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're my favorite Slavic cryptid, if you will, or Slavic spirit. They are my favorite, and I think it's because they're so multifaceted. But I don't know. That just also, like the Kelpie is said to have seaweed in its hair. Rusalka are said to be beautiful young ladies, but their hair is like the color of seaweed or made of the water plants, Beautiful. And in the scary version of them, when they turn around, they have no back. It's just a hollow cavity, maybe with organs inside.
Ew, that's creepy.
Yep. So what are some of the Hellenic water spirits?
So the nymphs, as I said, I have no idea how to pronounce this word. Is it Nereids?
Oh, Nereids.
Nereids. Okay,
Nereids.
I was going to say. So Nereids, I love them. They're the daughters
my
of...
uncle actually did some paintings of that really? My stepfather stole from my mother. Fuck you, dude.
They're the daughters of Nereus. And they're just water spirits. They don't have any negativity that comes along with them, like sirens. Like, sirens lure men to their death. They don't do that. You know what I mean? They're just
right. I feel
the
like
embodiment of agreeable parts of the ocean. So they're calm, they're tranquil, they're playful. Even.
I love that. They're Rusalka before Christianity came aboard. I mean, not that they are. I'm just saying, like, similar.
It does say that they accompany the sea god Poseidon and are often tasked with carrying his trident as well.
I believe that there's actually a statue that has Poseidon with his mirror. It's like, I feel like I've seen a picture of that statue.
I love them because in my head, respectfully, I'm imagining Ariel's sisters, the 7 sisters, you know what I mean?
I do.
But I love that they're all things that are good with the ocean. The positive vibes, like the calmness, the gentle sway of not the like negative aspects. So
not the Kelpie that wants to take you down and drown you.
Or sirens that want to
true siren
lure you or whatever.
Right. Oh, I like that. And I feel like most of the stories I've read about Nereids, it's like they are the focus of somebody's love or lust or something that. So I always picture them as like very beautiful. I don't necessarily picture them as mermaids like Ariel's sister, but like in that same vein of like I picture like bluish or purplish or pinkish, like just like you have different colors seashells,
different colors of the sun on the sea.
Right. Like I could picture them like sitting in the coral.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But with legs.
Right. Yeah.
Is there any others you wanted to mention?
Well, because she's my favorite character on Red's Dogs. Like other than Willie Jack.
That's right. You wanted to mention.
Fucking love Willie Jack. Oh my god. I can't believe that show ended and made me cry so hard.
Was it canceled or did it come to an ending?
It came to an ending.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically the culmination of a journey of these young individuals as they transform from being like adolescents or whatever into young adults. It's a very beautiful story, but funny. It is funny as shit. It's so funny. I love that fucking show. But also, like, Uncle is like one of the best characters, and every time he's in the episode, it's a great episode. And like, fucking, oh god, I love the show, and I feel like it could have done like they could have gone more, because like, look, the kids were the main characters, and maybe it's just because I'm like 40 years old. But like, I loved it when it focused on the adults, like, because a lot of the episodes focused on the adults, but it also, it all came full circle, because like you see the adults when they're the same age as these kids that are the main characters, and Willie Jack, I'm not going to finish that sentence because I guess it would be a spoiler, and I feel like it just ended. So like, we're only like maybe a year out from the last season, not even. But anyway, so the Deer Lady is one of my favorite characters from the show. She is wonderful. She's played by Canietio Horn, and I apologize, Miss Horn, if I said your name incorrectly. I am just going with the phonetics here. And she is also on Letterkenny. Fucking love Letterkenny. Good show. Canada's been bringing out some good shows these last few years. But anyway, she basically plays the Hoof Lady, who is a character out of Native American folklore, or not folklore, but Native American lore. And I'm going to do my best to pronounce the word Kenyan Kehaka. My ancestor, I do apologize, ma'am. I'm sorry if I'm a little fucking wrong. But anyway, I love her. She's great. And the thing about her is you know her because under her skirts, she has hooves.
I love that. I think that's beautiful. In my head, I think it could be very beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, she is used as a scary story for children to not go out too late or act out of line, or young people the same, just like the Kelpie, right? Because the Kelpie, they think one of the reasons that lore exists is to keep children from going too close to the water's edge or fucking with horses that they don't know, because both of these things can be very dangerous, right? So the Deer Lady exists for the same reason, but in the show Res Dogs, like, you see that, you know, her character is that she punishes wrongdoings. And I love that. Now, I couldn't find a ton of lore about her because I didn't think about it till the very end of my research for Kelpies, where I was like, oh, you know what? The whole Kelpie thing, or at least the part where like they still have their hooves and stuff, has always made me think of the Deer Lady or the Hoof Lady. And I wanted to kind of bring her up because she is an amazing, she's an amazing character in Res Dogs. That is how I know about her, like 100%. But also the Kelpie is just scary, right? It wants to murder you. The Deer Lady, if you do no wrong, she ain't gonna have beef, you know? But like, if you're a bad guy, well, you got to watch out for her. And I like that. And I also like that you only know necessarily that you've come upon her when you catch a glimpse of her hooves, because just like Kelpies, maybe that person's a real person and then they walk away and you go, they have hooves.
How weird.
How weird. But I think that was a fun episode. Can you think of anything else with?
Nope, we covered quite a few. I think we covered over 5.
Yep. And we like getting in the water, so we'll probably have some more water spirit episodes. But it was fun to go more in depth on Kelpies because I definitely looked into them when we did the Loch Ness Monster. And I just found out a lot more about them.
And they're
more
such
interesting,
fucking beautiful creatures. Like, they're just in my head. They're just gorgeous. But want to give a shout out to Melissa,
Death by DVD,
Pam,
Victoria.
I'm so sorry, guys. Thanks for being our patrons. If you'd like to support us, you can find us on Patreon/WitchesTalkingTarot.
You can find us on the socials. Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Witches Talking Tarot.
We're on the X at Classiest Witches because we're the classiest witches, you know, despite the burp I just said.
I don't even. I was like, I bet they can't hear that. Fuck who knows? But we're still the classiest witches.
Yes.
You know.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye.